Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched a lot of Bravo celebrities at BravoCon.
Yeah. I was like, we just watched,
yes. We didn't just watch anything. We spent the all day long at
We did a whole 9 to 5. Like, doors opened at 9. We left a little bit after 5:30.
Yeah.
So it's been a day.
It's been a day and a half almost.
To quote Marlo, today drained me.
Exactly.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a really good day. I am regretting bringing only one pair of shoes.
Oh.
You should have smacked me when I said I'm only bringing one pair.
Try my shoes after we're done with this.
I should.
And see, like, if they will fit you.
Because I got little blisters forming already on my pinky toes.
I have Band-Aids.
My poor
I
little
have a lot of
pinky
Band-Aids.
toes. Why do you have a lot of Band-Aids?
Because there's shoes I was going to wear
Oh,
on Sunday that might hurt the back of my heels.
Got it. Well, I'm going to just probably wrap them around my pinky toe and I'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I am exhausted. Like today, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, not to downplay it. A lot of fun.
It was so much fun. Yeah, like, again, yesterday I was like, I'm so anxious. And I'm like, what was I anxious about? This is like, super fun. Like, once you get into it, you're like, oh, I'm in it.
Right.
You like walk up and you're like, everyone's here. And everyone being like, there's so many fans and like the lines are so long. Not for VIP.
Right.
That's the one thing about VIP. It's like, you're like, woo.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Do you think VIP so far is worth the difference between GA?
From 2023.
Right.
It depends. I mean, the benefits are getting into places sooner, getting closer sometimes,
Right.
not all the times. With the Beverly Hills panel, you have to get there super early if you want like super close-up seats.
Right. But we're still closer than we would
Closer than GA,
otherwise.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And then there's the lounge, which we'll get to in more detail later, which is, nice.
Yeah.
But
Also, there's quicker. I mean, I think we got to the photo ops earlier, so we didn't have to really wait in line. But it seemed like you could get to the front of the photo op sooner because you're VIP and all that.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is like a fast pass, like Disneyland situation.
Right.
But I don't know.
I feel like some of the people we talked to did. So one of the things that I really enjoy about BravoCon is that you're really there with your people.
Yeah.
And there's really few people you could start a conversation with and have them look at you funny. They'd just be like, yeah, cool, let's talk about it. Like, they
Right.
want to know what do you like? What shows do you watch? So when you're waiting in line for stuff, that really is kind of the fun thing. And when we finished eating lunch, we sat down at a table with people already sitting at it. It felt, I was telling Jeff, it reminded me of like kind of a cruise where you're on a ship with people and you're like, well, we might as well get to know each other. So
But speaking of votes, like from moment one, we walk in and we meet the Above Deck podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
So while we were waiting in line, we, banter with people and everything. And yeah, we met the Above Deck podcast, which we don't watch Below Deck. So, we're not seeking that out. But they're so nice and just, striking conversation. They liked shirts we were wearing because we were wearing our very
They had
first set of
cute
merch.
shirts.
They
They
had
were like
cute
two
shirts.
friends who like do their podcast from like this one's in Ohio, I think.
Yeah, it was in Philadelphia.
Maybe.
I forget. But either way, it was just so nice just to meet people naturally and talk about stuff. And so they were wonderful and they put us in their stories. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Yes.
it. Then I had to figure out how to post a story because I've
I know.
really done it before.
I've done it like only a couple times, and it's so, I know some people only look at stories, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I am more of a static poster.
I am too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have our memory or our memories from this trip go away. Like, I
Right.
want them. So we might have to put together a big actual Instagram post.
Right.
But to quote Sutton from the Beverly Hills panel, y'all know I don't know how the Instagram works.
Yes. I think she blocked me.
Yeah, I'm not
The-
sure. She unfriended me.
Sutton on Garcelle. Well, she unfriended me and she blocked me. And then everyone turns and like, wait, she blocked you? Well, I mean, is that how it happens? Yeah, she was really like,
Yeah.
someone teach me.
Yeah.
It's the Instagram.
So good.
Give me a class.
But no, I got a feeling some of the people we talked to today, when I was, we were just sitting down with them, they were also VIP. Like for us, it was a really big deal to go VIP because it's an investment. Like it's more money. Like you're already spending a lot of money, like more than you're comfortable, especially for all 3 days.
Yeah.
And so for us to have done it, we just had to know that we're probably not going to do it again in, 2027 when they probably have another one of these. So this is our chance for a while, So I got the feeling with some of those people that they're just like, yeah, whatever, this money, that's nothing to us. So we just drop this money.
And we're like, oh, no, it must be nice.
Yeah.
We like had to we him and haw and really think about it. And for those reasons that you just said,
Right.
that's why we're doing it. But if we were to do in 2027, it would probably be GA, and I don't think we'd do all 3 days.
I don't think all 3 days.
Yeah, we like shoot for like one day to do everything and meet the people, have the photo ops that we want to have, and just
Because honestly, like today, I feel like I got enough Bravo to be like, that was nice.
Right.
I mean, tomorrow's just to be more of the same, and it will also be nice. It'll also be fun. But you know,
there's a lot of interactive stuff that you can do. You know, like you can see like all like. There's old reunion dresses, and just like, you know, the bunny, of course, is there, and like little pieces of history. And then you go through like the Wayfair houses, and it's like, this is Shamia's house, Melissa's house, Heather Gay's house, and then like, you know, Shamia was there actually,
right?
And then just like you can do it like your own, like you're in a confessional, you can do, you know, like a little, you know, like an opening scene. So it's really cool to like be in these housewife, you know, situations.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're going to do them tomorrow because we already did like most of them today.
Well, yeah, and if we don't go in early, then there might be lines and everything again.
Right.
But no, I mean, it's definitely fun.
The traders thing.
Yeah. We have some good photos. We'll definitely have to put those up. But no, the first thing when we got inside, we went through, they do have like a lot of the Housewives reunion looks set up on mannequins throughout. And it's kind of neat because you get to see them. And some of them I was really impressed, like even in person, like, oh, that's a really pretty dress. But some of them I was like, oh, that's what that looks like.
Yeah, because they're not all designers. Some of them are like just made by someone locally. Not that like to downplay that, you know, support local businesses, but it's like they're not all like, you know, Armani or, you know, like these big designers. So, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
But the same way when you see like when they release the photos of all the ladies for the reunion in their reunion looks, you're like, oh, well, that probably looks better on you know, when it's moving, or it looks better on camera than it does in a photo, you know, in a photo.
Right.
Like, I'd want to see it. I felt like the other way around. Some of these things, I was like, oh, wow, that looks way better on camera than it does in person. Because in person, you're like, oh, that's just really some sort of fabric sewn to other fabric.
Right.
Some of it looked kind of cheap. But then you're like, oh, but I remember seeing that on people. Like, I hate saying this, that dress that I think was Bose's dress that we saw in her little Wayfair room. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cheap in person.
I don't think it looks cheap. I think it's
I think you just see the construction of it in person better than you can on TV. And so I was like, oh, wow, on TV that looked absolutely amazing. In real life, I'd be like, I would never guess that would be a dress.
Well, knowing Bose, that probably wasn't very cheap. No.
Agreed.
Like, this is me throwing hella shade. And why am I saying hella?
Because we're from the Bay Area.
Yeah. The dress that looked cheap was freaking Gretchen's in person.
Oh,
and whoever put Gretchen's dress next to Kyle's reunion dress should be fired. No, not fired.
Not fired.
Reprimanded heavily.
Just, have a talking to.
Like, just, I had like, I'm going to have to like crop that picture because I only wanted Kyle's, but they're so close together. And there's like, ugh.
Yeah, I'd say that's an example though as well. Like, I honestly feel that that dress on Gretchen from the current reunion looked better on Gretchen than it did in person.
It looked really like greenish. Was she going for a Wicked thing?
She probably was.
Oh God.
Probably. And then on top of that, like, I think that's another example. Like, the boning and everything on TV looks a little luxurious and everything, but in real life you're like, oh, that's just cheap. You know, I don't want to, cheap isn't the right word, but it just looks like run of the mill. It just looks more like, oh, that's a dress.
Right.
You know,
you can say cheap with Gretchen. They don't have a lot of money.
But I don't want to insult the designer. I'm not trying to say like
they chose to work with her.
Stop it. But anyway, that was a really interesting, fun thing. And then we got to take a picture with the Wax Museum Andy. That was creepy.
We have to post that because it's like you come around the corner, you're like, oh, it's Andy.
That's Andy. They should have had, because they have him sitting in his little chair. They had only one other chair. They should have had 2 chairs set up so we could have fought over who was first chair.
Right.
And it would have been you. Honey, you're always first chair in my life.
You're the first chair in my clubhouse.
Oh, God. So I'm sure someone's had a wedding where they've said that before.
Oh my God.
Bravoholic wedding.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there isn't a wedding going, like, that's the next step of BravoCon is someone has their wedding there.
Or someone's going to like some guy's going to propose to his girlfriend there and everyone's going to lose their shit.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like at the photo op. Can you imagine? Like, I'm sorry, Kyle, before we do this photo op, and he takes the ring out and like the room would just like lose their shit collectively. Like, yeah, someone should do that.
Yeah.
Like, take your girlfriend to her happy place, and then propose to her, and
Right,
or your boyfriend, or your
right in
girlfriend,
right in front of their
favorite Bravo
celebrity.
celebrity. Yes.
That'd be awesome. So,
Speaking of Bravo celebrities,
speaking of,
our first photo op
oh yes,
wasn't. I know we talked about it on TikTok, but it was really just such a one. So you're in the room. Let's set the stage. I think, for people who aren't there,
right.
it's like you're in this very nicely air conditioned room. Thank God.
It's a giant tent,
It's a giant wedding tent,
like an old Native American gaming casino tent. That's really what it is. I mean, I felt like I was at a gaming casino from like 1998. So
I never experienced that.
It's gigantic, but it's well air conditioned.
So air conditioned because it was very humid today. It'll probably be even worse tomorrow with the rain.
Yeah.
But there's like separate stages set up, and it's just so funny that whoever made the choice, again, who's made these choices, I don't know, but you have Tamra and Katie in one stage, and then boop boop boop, two down is Camille and Gretchen, which, by the way, that combo, God help you.
Not sure. Yeah.
We met a lovely couple who were like, yeah, or it's Gretchen and Camille. That's our photo op. And we're like, oh.
Yeah, we were trying to be like, oh, okay, that's a choice. But
then he said, I know people don't like Gretchen right now. She's not too popular. And we're like, yeah.
But it made it clear that he was really doing it for the Camille.
Yes, because he said he wanted to get the Camille Denise photo op, which is tomorrow, which I'm sure I would, that's a good one.
It makes it, I could forgive him that because I was like, oh, he's just like an old school Beverly Hills fan, and he wants the Camille, and he just goes.
And trust me, I used to love Camille. Camille used to be my favorite.
Who are you? Let's get a divorce.
We've had this conversation. I favored Camille over Kyle. It was early days. I didn't know what I was thinking.
You were young then. We all make foolish mistakes in our 20s.
It was 2009. No, 2010.
Were you 20 then? Were you in your 20s then? No, you
2010.
Weren't. Oh, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
no, you were you were 31.
Yeah, I'm like, how old am I?
So anyway.
Oh, so our photo op. Again, I know we went over this in our TikTok. It was such an interesting. It was a crazy, fun moment to literally make. We're walking, and he goes to greet Tamra, and I'm Katie, and she just turned to me and instantly just said, "I know you from TikTok," and I was just like, "What, ma'am?"
Right.
Yes, I am on the TikTok. And then she gestured to Matt, her husband, who was like around the corner, and Matt, it's from TikTok. And he's like, thank you so much for what you do. And I was like, thank you for what you do. And I was like, you were great last night on the show.
Right.
And
yeah.
And they were just really lovely and just so nice. But like, for take my hands in her hands, I was like, Katie, Chanel, are we having a moment? It reminded me of my Chanel on moment from 2023, which is like, like this looking in your eyes, like, I see you. I'm kicking your hands, and we're having a moment. And I was like, I'm going with the Katie Janela.
It was just really bizarre because, like, it was like, you have these meet and greets, and you just, like, Tamra was very much like, oh, thanks, guys, and nothing against it. But Katie actually, like, recognized us from TikTok, from videos that we posted, of the podcast and supporting them.
And we had just put out one yesterday. Maybe that's the one she saw most recently. Yeah.
But it was pretty damn awesome. Just running into people who know who we are is just like, okay. And there's, again, we're not nobody, but we're not anybody.
Yeah. So, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that was definitely a nice start to the day, having, Katie know who we are and, that sort of thing. And just I don't know.
Yeah.
I can see the thrill that people have.
Oh, for sure. It like totally made the day. I think we just, from then on, we went to the lounge quite a bit.
So yeah, the VIP lounge is something that everyone says, and I don't know that it's untrue, but they're saying, oh, if you don't get your photo op, don't worry. A lot of the Bravo celebrities will be in the VIP lounge. And what I like about the VIP lounge is, there's a lot of space, a lot of bars with not a lot of lines.
It's not busy.
It's quiet, and it is very loungy. So It's kind of dim in there.
Very dim in there.
And it's chill-ish. Compared to the rest of BravoCon. And as a 48-year-old, I'm like, I could go for a nice, quiet room where we can just sit and chill and not have to, like, what's going on? And there were some people in there taking photos. Like, Zach was in there. We got our picture with with Ariana.
Which is good because we had to miss that photo op.
Right.
Because it coincided with the Beverly Hills panel.
Right. Ariana from Next Gen NYC.
Yes.
Not apparently Ariana from Vanderpump Rules.
Ariana.
All right. See, that's how much I don't know. You keep insisting I know, but I don't know.
Everyone knows her because of Scandival.
I just,
We all know Scandival.
I don't. I mean, I know of it. I just wouldn't. I didn't know who the players were.
Yeah. Well, she also looks a little bit different because she very dark hair.
Yeah.
By the way, she went very dark, and then Teresa went very light. Teresa's very, very blonde, which she's done before, and I don't care for it.
It's all right. I mean, it's definitely not what I think of when I think of Teresa.
No, it's like you think of dark hair, and like that's been her thing. So I'm like, why are you going so blonde?
It's a whole new her because she's making up with Melissa and Joe.
Hell is frozen over.
Hell is truly frozen over.
Truly.
One thing also, like, and I think I remember this about last time we were here. You forget how tiny the housewives are. Like a lot of the women are just small people. And that's the sort of thing like TV loves, I think, exaggerated features, and I think small people with big heads sometimes because it just films better, I guess. That's the rumor here anyway. But it is truly like Larsa. Like you think of,
oh yeah,
we saw Larsa a little bit in the corner of one of the activities she was doing, and she's taking photos of people. But like especially, I think this is also because Larsa is like known for having this voluptuous, curvy body, and then you see her in person, and she's like all of 5'2" if we're lucky,
yeah.
And then on top of that, like she's not like proportionate. She's proportionately small to the rest to her height, so it's not like she's 5'2" with this giant, curvy ass. She's 5'2" with a curvy ass for a woman who's 5'2". It just was really. It's really interesting, but there's so many people that, like you were saying with Gia
is like minute.
Right.
Like Gia Giudice is like so tiny, and she was standing next to Emma.
What's her face from NYC?
Yes.
The tall model.
Yes.
I can never remember her name.
Yes.
But
she's so pretty in person, but like literally, like Gia barely got to her shoulder. She didn't even get to her shoulder.
Yeah.
The height difference was alarming.
But then Jeff was saying that Gia Giudice is more pretty in person than
she's
on
better.
TV.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a rare thing to say about a lot of people. Is that they're on TV and they're larger than life and like they're done up, and I'm not that they're not done up here, but to see them in person, you're like, wow. It
was stunning. Yes, and like Katie was stunning. Tamra was very pretty. We saw Teddy, who looked great. It was so nice to see her there and like to see her get such a warm welcome, because that would not have happened 2 years ago.
Right.
So let it just be said, I loved Teddy before.
Yeah. Let's begin with.
Yes.
So let's talk about the panels we went to.
Oh yeah.
We went to the Potomac panel. That was the first.
That was the best one of the day.
That was really good.
For sure.
That was good. So the first year we went, a lot of the questions that like would get asked by the I'm jumping
moderator.
But no, I was going to say by the audience were always like these really generic housewives questions of like, if you were stranded on a desert island and you could only bring one housewife with you, who would you bring? And I think that of the panels we attended today, the questions were a lot better. Some of them
very much so.
Some of them were absolute shit just for the spite behind them.
We'll get to that.
But definitely better questions from the audience.
With the Potomac one, that first one, I don't know if it was the first or second, but like literally the person asked, about, can you speak to the experience of being, basically Black woman on Bravo and being housewives and in this very white housewives world. And I think both Giselle and Wendy answered it, and they gave very intelligent responses. And Giselle said, like, I'm not trying to knock the network. They definitely support us, but we are very aware that we are, Black women on this network. And so I don't think there's necessarily favoritism, but it's like, just in terms of like, you were saying before, of like what they're marketing towards and like who they're marketing for. It just seems that like the Black women, the Black franchises don't get the same amount of, respect put on their name as the others, and they made sure to like mention, Atlanta coming before them, and when they mentioned, Married to Medicine, so people like these franchises kind of just get like locked in as like, oh, the Black girls, but it's like they bring in a lot of audience.
Yeah,
people were really excited to like see the Potomac women, and sometimes, not sometimes, they're like they have a lot of great seasons, and they might have been like lost their way a couple seasons,
recent seasons,
but like they're strong cast,
finding their way back.
And it was just also a very lively panel, And even when they were shading each other, which was definitely had.
Definitely often.
Yes, and it felt very reunion-like, and people being shut down. I loved Wendy shutting down Ashley, like, nope,
Yeah.
you talk shit about me at my lowest, and I'm not going to just talk to you backstage because I don't want to.
Right.
And for Ashley to be like, okay, that's fine. It's like, yeah, Ashley, you basically are like joyful about her going to prison.
Yeah, and
Since going to the pen.
And that was one of the questions someone asked
I'm so glad someone asked that.
Someone asked, Wendy, how do you feel about, or they might have asked Ashley, like, Ashley, do you feel bad for saying what you said?
Yeah,
I forget what it was.
Yeah.
Because, when Wendy's, legal issues were announced, Ashley kind of gloated about it in one of her live performances.
Like, we always knew about this.
Yeah.
Like,
so Ashley did apologize publicly on stage, but Wendy was...
Well, it was funny that, like, Stacey and Wendy both, or I think mainly Stacey was saying, she's right here, because Ashley was apologizing to the audience, not turning to her right to apologize to Wendy.
Right.
Which is, that's why you can't really... with Ashley.
It was wild. I mean, I do think... I do love Wendy. I don't want to, like...
It was surprising. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Surprising to see her there. Like, I knew she was on the schedule because she went off for a bit and she came back. And I was like, I am very surprised she's at this panel because, as Zuri, the moderator, was saying, a lot of people would have been like, I'm going to just bow out and stay home until this all plays out.
Right.
So for her, I think it was probably a conscious effort, and that work seems to be really behind her, and Andy supports her. So she definitely was like, I'm going to go there with my, as she said, chin high, and these are allegations and I can't speak to them. And I think maybe it's also too, it's like you look more guilty if you hide away.
Right.
So that was another thought. So it was just, and she wasn't scheduled to do any photo ops, just that panel. So I think it was really good for her and smart for her to to do it.
At the same time, I don't necessarily like the, I think the support and people supporting her through this hard time is good. I think at the same time, though, it's a little cagey to just everyone being so like, Wendy's great, Wendy's wonderful, and not kind of... Well, because I understand you can't go ahead, it is innocent until proven guilty, and so it's hard, like, from a PR perspective to be like, well, chances are she is involved in something, and this didn't just come out of thin air. So I get it. It's just a difficult line to walk, for sure. And so it's a little bit weird for everyone to be like...
But it wasn't everyone. I noticed the response wasn't as loud and like boisterous that she was like, of course, you are not guilty. We love you, Wendy. It wasn't the same. I'm not trying to compare the situations, but Shannon came to BravoCon right after her DUI, and everyone was like tripping over themselves to support her and cheer for her. But I think that also speaks to how much people might like her versus Wendy.
Right.
As we've talked to people who would think that we would love Wendy, and they're just like, I don't like her, and da-da-da. She's like up her own ass, and she's always been snobby, and da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, that's surprising. So the audience reaction, it wasn't like, yes. Like, it wasn't that strong as...
Because I think it was also like, what I'm coming with is like, yeah, good for... Okay. It's just like, are you not reading the same news we're reading? Like, that's...
Well, I mean, she's right. If we're going to play devil's advocate, they are just allegations, and nothing has been proven. There hasn't been a trial. They've been charged, but like, anyone can be charged. So she's not going to jail tomorrow, and she hasn't admitted guilt. Neither she nor Eddie, so it's just
No, I agree.
But yeah, that was like, oh, okay. We tried to rush the stage to get pictures. We got some.
I got to tell Angel I think Angel is my favorite of this season. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I got to tell her, like, because she just seems to be the most real and kind of like, this is who I am. And I'll be disappointed if I find out that's not who she is, and she really is just putting on a persona. But I feel like she's really just trying to be herself, and the other women are just like,
that's not good enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
There was a lot of friction between her and Ashley.
Oh yeah,
which I'm sure, I guess we'll see play out in the season to see how they get to here.
Yeah, they gave a sneak peek of the mid-season trailer.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, it was
so good. I was like, it's all just going down in that, like. And they talked about the glass group trip, which is like, as Wendy said, catastrophic.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. I'm really looking forward to that. I was going to say, I can't remember.
It's all right.
Something with Stacey, we took pictures. Oh, everyone was so happy that Monique was back.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, she got the loudest cheers.
She did.
They were just like, oh my God, Monique's back. Like, they're just so excited. And yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. And then Monique was also, she had a lot of good things to say because she was, kind of, talking about how she, in the time since she left and came back, like the show has changed a lot. And she thought she'd just kind of fall right back in. But she's like, oh, whoa, even for me, this is not the same thing.
Right. This is not like how we used to do it when I did it,
And so she was like a little caught off guard by that. It was nice to hear. It was nice to hear someone say, like, the show you're watching now has changed in so many ways that like it's unrecognizable to me.
Right, which is like bound to happen.
And it was also nice to hear her say like, no, like I'm still focusing on my kids and like I'm not all about this life.
Sometimes I think Zuri was a great moderator, but some of her questions were kind of like, I don't know, why are you focusing on that? Like when she asked Monique, are we gonna see you dating? And Monique's like, no, I'm not.
Right.
One, I'm a friend of. Two, I'm not there. We're focusing on co-parenting with my ex or with these 3 kids we have.
Right.
3, 2?
I don't remember.
3. And then when Zuri asked Stacey about TJ, I'm like, that is so last season. That is so last reunion. Like, why are you trying to like? Stacey's not gonna be like, well, yes, let me pull out the contracts or anything.
Like, enough time's passed. Here you go. Here's all.
Right. Here's the dirt. I paid him X amount of money. No, like she was like, I can't speak to what TJ is thinking or whatever because I'm not him.
Right.
So, and so when the audience like asked why, and I'm like, shh. First of all, we don't need audience interaction.
Right.
Thank you.
So
yes, love the Potomac panel.
The Beverly Hills panel.
I love Beverly Hills. It's my favorite franchise. It was an awkward panel.
It was awkward because first off, they showed us like an extended sneak peek of the new.
I thought it was being an extended trailer. I turned to you and I was like, that trailer that we saw originally seems short.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be more of the trailer. Right. And so we were like, oh, no, it's the first 15 minutes, which we didn't need. Because the first 15 minutes of a new season is establishing where everyone's at. And that's a little dull.
Right.
It's not a group scene. No one's like fighting, it's just like Kyle and her daughters and, Sutton's mother's there and they love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, like Dorit meeting with Bose gave an update on PK.
And an Hermes blanket.
A $2,000 Hermes blanket. So it's kind of like, why are we? And we saw Rachel styling Kathy, and I'm like, I didn't need any of this.
It started the panel off to kind of a snooze as well.
People
like the energy was really low.
So people left, yeah.
So, but when the ladies came out and everything, it was great. It was wonderful. And talk about someone getting the loudest applause, Rachel Zoe.
People were losing their minds over Rachel Zoe.
Absolutely
losing their mind.
Like more than any, like I thought, Kathy would be getting the huge applause and all that.
You would think.
But no, it was Rachel Zoe hands down. Like it was
they were so
almost
excited.
deafening.
So excited. Even she was like, oh gosh. Yeah. I enjoyed the Rachel Zoe project back in the day, and it's cool that she's coming on the show, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this is life altering.
Yeah.
But hopefully she's great.
Yeah. I don't feel like any really of the questions or stuff that the moderator put out there were that
he wasn't like the best moderator either.
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, basically like the big thing, there seems to be some sort of rift with Erica and Kyle versus Dorit.
Right.
And something happens in the group trip to Rome that makes that all happen. And Dorit and Kyle were in a good place, and then they took free ships back, and it was a very awkward panel because I think that I was saying this to you, the difference is I don't necessarily, there's pockets of friendship with Beverly Hills. I truly believe Erica and Kyle are very close and they're friends. And Bose and Dorit, or Dorit now and Rachel, but it's just like there's not like, aside from that, like really crossover friendships, whereas I feel like there's more of that and more of a like understanding, and I hate to use this word because it's overused, sisterhood with Potomac,
right?
And so that made for an awkward panel when like, also just the questions were awkward, like Sutton talked about Garcelle and how she basically dropped your ass,
right?
Because you left it was just really awkward.
And then even like he asked Sutton what happened to Avi, and then it was kind of like,
which, I'm sorry, it's Avi, not her husband.
Right.
Like, why are we so focused on Avi?
Right. And it was
that was the cliffhanger in the 15 minutes that we saw.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care.
And it was a little awkward, her response too, because like she's obviously not trying to be like, I canned his ass, but like, well, I didn't need an assistant anymore, and that's what he was hired to do, so I don't have him, you know?
I don't believe, though, that Sutton Stracke doesn't need an assistant.
Oh, no, I don't believe she can make her own dentist
Something
appointments.
happened.
That was what she said. Why can't I make my own dentist appointments? It's like, can you? So.
No, she's like, I can buy my own flowers.
No, stop it.
Sorry.
The opening, the very first scene, just to spoil it for you, of Beverly Hills this season is Sutton on a horse.
Yeah,
so
like gleefully, like.
So I feel like we're gonna get another Sutton horse season out of this. It'll be wonderful.
And Kyle can be like, "What did you do this season? You got a horse."
So,
what did you do this season? You rode a horse.
Right.
And Teddy can be like, "Nice form."
Yeah. So the audience questions. Jeff does not like to talk about this because it happened last time around too, right?
It did. So here's the thing. This guy, we know his name because he's in the Bravo group that we're in, the Facebook group.
Okay.
I'm not going to name his name.
Okay. But if you know,
man with the scarf at the 2023 reunion said, "Kyle, why?"
BravoCon, not
sorry, reunion. BravoCon. Kyle, why do you keep trying to like thrust Teddy upon us? Why are you trying to make fetch happen? So many things wrong with that. One, like you have this moment to ask a question to Kyle Richards, and you're asking about Teddy Milligan. So you hate Teddy so much, but you're asking about Teddy. You're making your moment about Teddy. Okay, sure. You do you, boo. And then secondly, to use fetch.
Right.
Like, did he say fetch?
I don't remember, to be honest. But like that was the implication. Like,
I mean, why are you trying to
make Teddy happen?
Why are you trying to make fetch? Yeah, basically. Yeah. It was just like, it was.
And her answer then was, Teddy's my friend.
No, she was like, Teddy's already happening. And then and other people were like, I like Teddy.
Right.
And Anna Marie was like, I like Teddy. Because their sons played football.
Right.
So today, cut to today, and this dude shows up trying to like build off like, I'm the one wearing the same fucking scarf. I had to drop the F-bomb. And just like basically tried to question Kyle's existence. Like, Kyle, what else can you be as the senior OG? What else are you basically?
It wasn't even senior OG. The question was, as the most senior cast member of the show,
right?
What do you still have left to offer the audience?
Basically, going off of what you would see online from people who hate Kyle, saying like, what else is Kyle giving us? Why is Kyle on the show? Like, she gives us nothing. Like, she's just coasting on being Kyle.
And also, I think trying to suggest like, are you going to be honest about what's going on with your relationships and all this stuff?
But basically what it comes down to is like, you're questioning why is Kyle on the show, and just saying it in like a shady, bitchy kind of way. And it's like, what are you doing? What do you hope to get from this?
Right. One of the questions at the Potomac panel, someone asked.
Oh God!
Someone asked Ashley because
that's good.
Someone asked Ashley, can she cite something specifically that Giselle has done to have her back, to have Ashley's back, that wasn't self-serving to Giselle?
Yes, and the eyes like, oh,
yeah, we were all gasping. So that's a great way to like be critical and shady of another person.
They did it right.
Is that the one where Giselle was even like, who is that hoe?
Yeah, she's like, excuse me?
And Giselle was having fun with it too. She's like, what do you mean, self-serving?
And the one wasn't like cursing Giselle. She was like calling her name. She was basically just like, saying the quiet part out loud. Right. And it was really funny.
Whereas this guy's pretty much like, bitch, why are you on the show?
Exactly. I'm going to come to this panel and like criticize this woman. Like, what are you doing?
And I mean, I guess.
What is your purpose, sir, except to ask dumbass questions?
I guess hats off to someone who feels so, adamant about this that they're going to go ahead and spend all this
hats
money.
Off. No. This is when we're going to use
scarves off.
This is when we're going to use the term low-hanging fruit in the correct way. What low-hanging fruit that you're going to be like a typical Reddit little biatch and say, sorry, not to criticize everyone on Reddit, but like, those typical people on Reddit who hate Kyle, and they're just like, I'm going to say this really shady thing to Kyle, like to her face. Ooh, look at me go. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because the audience is like, we don't support this.
Yeah, and then, Kyle had, of course, a non-answer to it because it's like, what do you expect her to say? She
I don't think she caught it.
Yeah.
Erica caught it. Erica clocked it for sure and was like,
Yeah.
And then the second person who also said he was saying, something to the effect of how they talked last night about it was
basically who would you leave behind and that sort of thing, and I asked Dorit who would she leave behind, thinking that she'd say Kyle, and
that wasn't it, but no, she basically
someone else. That's what they were talking about last night at the Bravo.
Right. Yes.
So
yeah, but it was the way he was phrasing it was critical of Kyle. Then like he shifted to it was just like, what are you doing? Like the question sucked. The panel was awkward. It was just like it was not a good moment. Everyone looked great though.
Absolutely.
So, spoiler, didn't get a photo with Erica. Didn't see her in the lounge because she's like not going to the lounge. Got a close-up shot of her, but we didn't get a photo together. Totally fine. She looked phenomenal.
She was also wearing like a rubber dress pretty much.
Yeah, she was not going to get down. Like, because what happens is that at the end of these panels, people will like go to the front of the stage. Well, the Bravo celebrities and like crouch down to take photos. People rush the stage as if they're like starving and like this is the loaf of bread.
Yeah, they're gonna be throwing bread to us. Here, I was gonna say like it's the encore of a concert, but okay, we're starving. They need bread.
They're starving. They need bread. Like they're just like rushing in a polite way. No one's gonna get like mowed down, trampled. But it's just like whoa, and it's like you kind of like you get stuck in it and you can't get close. And Erica, like you said, it was like honey, I'm not getting down there in this skirt and these heels. But she looked amazing. So
as we were walking out, someone was like, I don't know, Erica seemed kind of mean, and I was like, I didn't know what to say with that because she didn't seem mean. She seemed a little bit want to be there, maybe.
She was a little bit over it, but I was like, oh, maybe, she's kind of corseted in.
Yeah.
It was just really tight. She was just kind of like not feeling it, but
but she looked
great.
They all looked good.
Yes, everyone looked great.
I got great pictures. They all after their panel lined up with their backs to the audience to take a group photo. So I have a picture of everyone's backs to us, which is kind of nice.
And then Tilly turned around. Tilly was great.
Yeah, she was.
I would love to get a picture of Tilly.
That would have been good.
I know.
So the only other panel we went to after that was much later in the day. We went to the Bravo editors panel.
That was great.
That was really, really interesting.
Informative, yes.
Yeah. It was 4 different editors from multiple franchises, multiple different shows throughout Bravo, even Top Chef,
Like one who was on season 1 of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Like one who like edited the table flip.
Yeah.
But they like done various Bravo shows and like seasoned editors and really cool, like 2 women, 2 men, 3 people of color.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really like, it was I point that out because it's like you just don't expect that because you just just think it's a very white world behind the scenes, but it was really nice to see them, and they were like just that we're Bravo fans and like this is the process, and
that was a very well run panel, and I think that because a lot of the questions I was formulating in my head because I was not well attended panel, I thought I could go ahead and get in line and ask some because I was really interested like what each of the editors would feel like their feather in their cap was for their editing, and they actually asked like that was part of the presentation, like we're going to show clip like the scenes that they feel are their best work with Bravo.
Yes.
And so that was interesting to see. Like one of the guys, he told the story about how they wanted to cut the hunky dory out of Beverly Hills, and he was like, he had to play stupid work politics and just be like, I know you like he ignored them telling him to take it out and left it in, and it turned out to be this huge phenomenon, for
Kathy Hilton, and like helped to launch Kathy Hilton, and like that might have been left on the editing floor.
Right. And he's also the guy who's responsible for, your ugly leather pants, all that stuff. So there's things that could easily have been edited out if someone didn't see value to them or have a true belief in what they were doing. Like if they were just showing up at work and being like, I edit reality TV, whatever.
Yeah. Boop. But no, they love it. They also were saying, we're not out to get people. There is no villain edit. We're given material and we work with that, but we're not trying to take anybody down or paint them in a negative light. It's just that what we're giving. And also it's like there's story producers and executive producers. So I think the direction that a character might be taken in is really more so up to them. So it's not the editors trying to pigeonhole someone as you're the bad guy this season.
Right. But they did even go so far as to say, like, when they do see someone kind of getting edited, produced in a bad way, they'll try to show both sides.
Right.
Because one of the ladies was, she edited the COVID seasons of Atlanta when Marlo was actually a
First
peach
got a
holder.
peach, yeah.
And so like she was saying like, things she wanted to give Marlo like a good opportunity, like a good chance, and not
She was so excited about being a housewife and had expectations, and then it didn't really go the way she thought it was going to go.
Yeah, and so like when it was kind of dissolving around, it's still like, well, I want to put her in the best light because this is her time to shine. Like you don't want to like have it be all like just crap around her and like really edit her in such a way that it's like womp womp. What did you expect?
So then she gave that moment, of, Marlo had her now iconic line of like, today drained me.
Mm-hmm.
That woman edited that scene, and it was just really very interesting to like see what they, when they talked about like, putting the, how difficult can it be to like work with like cell phone footage, when cameras go down and like that's all you have to work with. Reunions are tough.
The one thing that they kept talking is that, we can't edit you in a certain way if you didn't say it. Like if the footage doesn't exist, but we always hear about that in a lot of reality TV that they can and will create with Frankenbites and like different audio and like.
Well, they were saying that we create with like confessionals. Like Ryan gave the example of like editing My Life on the D-List, and Kathy's father had died. And obviously they couldn't be there like in the hospital at the funeral, whatever. So they relied on like the storytelling coming from Kathy and her confessionals. Right. So it's like if something's not happening on screen, you have to like, I think that's also up to the producers to prod the woman to talk about it in the confessional and explain what's going on, and then the editors can take that material and like make it so we can understand it.
But I'm getting at the point though that I'm sure there are times when they're like, well, we really do want to make this person look like they said this because we know that they did, but we just couldn't use that footage or whatever, so we're going to go ahead and construct it out of this footage, kind of like doing plastic surgery, so to speak, with with camera footage. So
I also think they were saying that. I think
no, I don't think that they did. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they talked about that when I'm sure that's something that probably does go on. Like, I don't think that was really touched on, which is, if I had a question, that's one that I would have been interested in asking about Frankenbites, basically.
Right. I bet though they would have said that's not something they could do. I think but also it's not always up to them.
Right, exactly. And I think it's something they prefer not to do, but I'm sure it does happen.
Right. Yeah, the thing is like they're not the executive producer. They don't have final cut. They one was saying like I tried to give like a they call a fat cut, so all this information or all this footage, and then let them choose what they're going to take out from it. But she's like, I want to give as much as possible. So all four of them were just seemed like really interesting people. Absolutely. And like it was like, oh wow, and everyone had great questions, and SE Cup had great questions as the moderator, and like she's just being a fan was like asking things that people wanted to hear, or wanted to know the answers to.
Yeah, it was really good.
So it was really well put together. Like that and Potomac were great panels.
Yeah. I wish Beverly Hills had been better, but
yeah, it comes down to
So
I think the rest of the day was just us walking around like the bazaar, going back to the lounge and
trying to catch different people.
Yeah,
and
the bazaar is where you just like, see everyone selling their wares, but it's like people will do a lot of photo ops. So I think we saw, it must have been either after or before we saw Teresa and Louie at her booth, that Joe came over and took a picture with them.
Oh, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, at one point there was like all the men of Bravo or something where had a stage.
It was the Jersey guys.
The Jersey guys?
It was like Polly and Joe and Joe.
All I know is we were walking over to see what's going on, and I just saw Joe Gorga like shirtless walking off stage, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on over there?"
Right. So. And then like later on we see on the Instagram
Instagram.
like him hugging Teresa and Louie, and I'm like, I guess you kind of have to. Like, I can see like making up with your sister, but like Louie is,
it's much.
Yeah, especially with recent videos that have come out.
We'll just get
that they claim is AI. By the way, they think we're gonna think that's AI.
That's not AI.
No.
So, anywho, it was a long day. I'm glad we did it. We get to do it again tomorrow. What's our first thing we're doing tomorrow?
We might do I don't think we can do the traders panel because we have our photo op with Joe and Melissa.
Okay.
At 11:45 or something like that.
So that's open. So we'll get in there maybe early, walk around a little bit, and then go to the photo op.
There's also like another panel that happens at 11. We'll see.
We'll figure that out.
The Atlanta panel is tomorrow.
And we have our Porsche photo tomorrow as well.
No,
right?
Porsche's Sunday.
So who's the afternoon photo?
Heather Whitney.
Heather Whitney. Right.
So I think the only Housewives panel that The Miami's one is tomorrow, but we're not going to do that because that coincides with Heather and Whitney.
Oh, right.
So I think it was just going to be Atlanta in terms of panels for us. Hopefully there's a good moderator.
And then, if nothing else is going on there, we can come back and take a nap, maybe.
I don't think so. I think it's like, well, there's going to be an Ask Andy because we missed the Ask Andy, which I'm actually okay with because apparently Jeff Lewis showed his ass.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
It's a figure of speech.
I was like, really? He did? Why are you not mentioning that till now? I don't want to see Jeff Lewis's ass.
No. Yes.
And now that you say that, I get
the Monica comment.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is like building off of one he made about her in 2023. Like, why are you targeting this woman?
Right.
Such an asshole.
Crazy. So, well, that was our very long-winded recap of the day today.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening and thanks for following. If you've been liking our content on TikTok and on Instagram, thank you very much. If we talked to any of you at the conference today, it was wonderful, and it truly is great just being able to walk up to people who are kind of in your camp and just talk to them about all this stuff. It's very freeing almost.
It was nice to have someone actually say, I listened to your podcast.
Right.
Or like we are wearing our shirts. People were like, oh, that's a great shirt. We got so many compliments on the shirt. And the fact that there's a QR code, which is Scott's idea.
Thank you.
And it was just like, it stood out. And like, it was, someone said, great marketing, no notes.
That was very nice. So,
yes.
Well, anyway, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. And we'll talk about it next time.
Till next time.